Boulevard. Tour their strength station, turf, and free demo session. Ages 7 to 18 and professional adults can benefit from the D1 way. That's the D1 Training Open House, Beach and 295, Saturday. For more information, go to D1 Jacks on Instagram or D1Training.com.
Captain Kevin Favor here, and do you store your boat and boat trailer separately? If so, I want to tell you about Stack'em Storage. They store your boat trailer in a secure warehouse out of the elements, and here's the cool thing. Stack'em Storage will pick up your trailer from you, store it in a secure warehouse, do a 5-point inspection, and deliver it back to you where and when you need it. Call Captain Pat at 962-9605. Use code FAVOR, that's F-A-V-E-R, and get a $50 gift card to Strike Zone. Visit stackmstorage.com.
When getting the job done right is job one, you need construction equipment that's built right. From compact track loaders to the world's #1 selling compact excavator, the Kubota construction lineup features durable Kubota engines, more comfort, and the versatility to do it all and do it right. Visit your local Kubota dealer today. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Visit Coastal Equipment in Jacksonville and McClenny to reach your North Florida Kubota Superstore.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. The sports world keeps spinning and the local conversation continues. Now, Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
And a very good Friday evening to you, Jacksonville. You made it to the weekend. It is Hacker After Dark right here on 1010XL 92.5 FM with producer Dylan Denmark. The Hacker Ryan Green with you. Glad you are with us as we finish out the week. We got a lot to get into. PGA Championship round number 2, all but in the books. We'll keep you updated. Tiger Woods, it appears, is going to make the cut at 3 over par. Got a lot to get into as far as the National Football League, college football as well. The guest lineup looks like this. Coming up in about 35 minutes from now, Florida State fans, how about your former 5-star? In fact, if you go to 247sports.com, Myron Rolle is still among the top 100 recruits ever on that website. That's ever. Of course, Myron Rolle went on to become a Rhodes Scholar, went over to England to study at Oxford, is now a neurosurgeon, and he has a new book coming out and a book signing tomorrow here in Jacksonville. We'll have former Florida State safety Dr. Myron Rolle coming up at 8:35 this evening. In the 9 o'clock hour, David Waters, my friend from the Gators Breakdown podcast on newsforjacks.com. That's at 9:15 as we talk about Billy Napier and what they're doing on the recruiting trail. It's been a good week for the Florida Gators. We'll look at that with David Waters. And then finally later on tonight, about 9:35, my friend Verlin Dormany, and now a 9-time state champion high school football coach at Trinity Christian. He will join us as every Friday night leading up to high school football season. Like to give you a little flavor, getting you ready for the Friday Night Lights. This Friday night will be with Verlin Dormany. As always, we are streaming for your viewing pleasure on the 1010XL YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube, type in 1010XL, bam, we're right there. Like, subscribe, you'll get notified every time Hacker After Dark is on the 1010XL YouTube channel. You can also go to my personal Twitter, at Ryan Green 1010XL. The big deal of the night. I was thinking about this driving in, and really you could almost divide it into 2 big deals of the night, but I find it interesting. Do you realize that Doug Peterson is one of almost over a quarter of the NFL have brand new head coaches? Doug Peterson being one of them here in Jacksonville. If you've forgotten, good grief. Matt Eberflus in Chicago, Nathaniel Hackett in Denver, Mike McDaniel with the Miami Dolphins, Brian Daboll with the New York Giants. You then go to Josh McDaniels in Las Vegas, Dennis Allen with the New Orleans Saints, Lovie Smith with the Houston Texans, Kevin O'Connell, remember him, for the Minnesota Vikings, and Todd Bowles of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I believe that's 9 new NFL head coaches for the 2022 football season. That is a big deal, and Doug Peterson is among them. You look at the teams that they are inheriting. You look at the teams they are taking over. Which of those 9, which of the NFL first-year head coaches in 2022, at least the first year with a new organization, are going to have the most success? Well, certainly when I think about it, and what I was thinking about earlier today, is you go to the head coach quarterback combo. So you combine a tag team match, if you will. I know AEW Rampage is coming on with Tony Khan here in a little bit. So on a Friday night, let's have a little tag team issue on the football gridiron. Doug Peterson, Trevor Lawrence, your head coach, your quarterback here in Jacksonville. Compare that to Matt Eberflus and Justin Fields in Chicago. I say the winner there is Jacksonville. To me, that's a better combo than what the Chicago Bears are going to roll out. Then you go to Denver. Nathaniel Hackett, Russell Wilson. Nope. Denver's better. So that moves Jacksonville at least to number 2. You got to put Russell Wilson and Nathaniel Hackett above Jacksonville. Russell Wilson's going to be a Hall of Famer in Canton, Ohio one day, and Nathaniel Hackett, as an offensive coordinator, got Blake Bortles to an AFC championship game. If that isn't reason enough to sing the praises of Nathaniel Hackett, I don't know what is. The Miami Dolphins. I think here you have more of a conversation. I think the Dolphins have more talent on their roster, but if we're strictly going quarterback and head coach, who do you take, Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence, or Mike McDaniel and Tua? Me personally, I'm going Jacksonville's the winner there. I would take Trevor Lawrence over Tua, and I would take Doug Peterson over Mike McDaniel. So I think Jacksonville, from that standpoint, if we're using the criteria, head coach, quarterback, going to have a better first year than Miami. The New York Giants, I'll take Jacksonville. I like Brian Dable, but he's never been a head coach. Daniel Jones is not Trevor Lawrence. So I have no problem saying Jacksonville is in a better situation than the New York Giants. That's 3 teams already. New York, Miami, and Chicago, of the first-year head coaching situations, that I think Jacksonville has a better situation than. Now's where it starts getting a little tougher. Las Vegas, Josh McDaniels, Derek Carr, you got to go with the Raiders there. Absolutely. Derek Carr, to me, is a better quarterback than Trevor Lawrence. Josh McDaniels, terrific OC, gets a second chance as a head coach. But if I had the choice between McDaniels and Carr or Peterson and Lawrence, at least right now, I'm going to take McDaniels and Carr. New Orleans, Dennis Allen, Jameis Winston. I'll take Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence. Is Jameis Winston a better quarterback than Trevor Lawrence? Particularly when Jameis is coming off an ACL injury? I don't know. I know Jameis Winston's a good player. I know he threw 30 touchdowns his last year in Tampa. That happened to be the same year he threw 30 interceptions. I think Jameis Winston and Trevor Lawrence might be a wash, but I'm going to take Doug Peterson over Dennis Allen. The Houston Texans, Lovie Smith, Davis Mills. Again, maybe I'm being a homer here, but how do you not like Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence better than Lovie Smith and Davis Mills? Even though Mills did come into Jacksonville and give the Jaguars a pretty good beating in December last year, I still like the Jaguars. Minnesota, Kevin O'Connell, Kirk Cousins. Look, Kirk Cousins I would take over Trevor Lawrence. Kevin O'Connell, you just simply don't know. He was an offensive coordinator under Sean McVay. How much did he actually do with that Rams offense? We're going to find out really quick as he takes over the reins in Minnesota. To me, that's a wash. I would take Peterson over O'Connell, but I would take Cousins over Lawrence. And then Tampa Bay, obviously, with Tom Brady, they're going to be above Jacksonville. Todd Bowles gets another opportunity. You got to like the Bucs situation there. But the point of this exercise, the reason why to me it's a big deal, there's 9 of these head coaches that are entering the first year working with these quarterbacks and running these organizations. And I think Jacksonville is in a better situation, head coach quarterback combo, than Chicago, than Miami, than the Giants, than the Saints, and then the Texans. I'd probably rank them 4th. Put Tampa Bay at 1, probably Denver at 2, Las Vegas I'd probably go to 3, and then 4 might be a tie between Minnesota and Jacksonville. But it is interesting. Look, why do NFL head coaching jobs open up? Well, all of these jobs except for Tampa opened up because the guys weren't getting the job done that were previously there. Or you had sudden retirements like you did in New Orleans. The Giants were awful. The Broncos were bad. The Bears were bad. The Texans were bad. The Vikings were average as the day is long. So all of these first-year head coaches are inheriting tough situations. But who do they have as their quarterback to help them transition into year 1? Doug Peterson's got a pretty good one here in Trevor Lawrence. And aside from Tom Brady, Russell Wilson, Derek Carr, and probably Kirk Cousins, I would take Trevor over Justin Fields, over Tua, over Daniel Jones, and I'd say it's probably a tie with Jameis Winston. 641-1010 is the phone number if you want to get involved. Jacksonville, you are more than welcome to do so. You can hit us up on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. As always, phone lines open to you on a Friday night at 641-1010. Denmark and I were talking as well before the show tonight about the idea of first-year head coaches and moving that idea into the college ranks with Billy Napier. Then I got to thinking, Doug Peterson entering year 1 here in Jacksonville. Billy Napier entering year 1 in Gainesville. Have the Gators and the Jaguars ever overlapped like that, where 2 head coaches are starting at the same time in year number 1? One in the college game in Gainesville, one in the pro game in Jacksonville. Let's think about that. Coughlin was hired in 95, or that was his first year. Spurrier was already there. No. Del Rio was hired in 03. That was Ron Zook's second year, so no, that doesn't count. Mike Mularkey was hired in 12. Denmark, when did we say Muschamp arrived?
Muschamp's first year was 11, right after Urban Meyer.
All right, so Muschamp was 11, Mularkey was 12. So no, that same logic would apply. Muschamp in 11, Gus Bradley in 13. So no, 2016 was Marone. When did Mullen take over?
Well, we had McElwain first in
McElwain,
15. Yeah.
So that did not overlap either. And then obviously Urban last year was Mullen's last year. So yeah, they have never started on the same time frame. Now you have, if you're a Jagator, as we call them, right? We talked about this a couple weeks ago. I still have the T-shirt somewhere in my attic. The world's fiercest animal. It was part Jaguar, part Gator. Terrific marketing campaign.
Total 90s thing.
Yeah, no, it was terrific. I wore one to Mandarin Middle proudly as a power hawk and a mohawk on the B track, year-round school there on Hood Road at Mandarin Middle. I had my Jagator shirt rocking once every couple of weeks. But if you are a Jaguar and a Gator fan, and we'll get more into this coming up, who are you more excited about in year number 1? Maybe not longevity-wise, although we can talk about that as well. A lot of excitement about Billy Napier. But there's also a lot of excitement about Doug Peterson. Where do you fall on that? Who are you more intrigued by, if I use a Frank Frangiism here on a Friday night? Who intrigues you more in year number 1? What Billy Napier is doing in Gainesville? Or what Doug Peterson is doing right here in Jacksonville? That's next. Hacker After Dark on a Friday. Jacksonville, we are glad you are with us. It's 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show.
We got a nanny. So she is a nanny.
Lauren Brooks.
No. She's not a nanny.
Keeping the boys in line.
Of course she's a nanny.
Afternoons on The Frangie Show.
When does the lying stop?
On 1010XL.
Hi, I'm Frank Frangie. The Dailies Dash Walk-Off Charities Golf Classic is Monday, June 6th at Jacksonville Golf and Country Club. Come help more players than ever play the beautiful game of baseball. Log on to walkoffcharities.com and learn more. We'd love to have you play golf with us.
Dell Technologies wants to celebrate all your hard work with these Small Business Month specials. Get great value offers on powerful laptops, desktops, and servers with Windows 11 Pro starting at $499, plus top monitors and docks, all with easy financing options through Dell Financial Services. It's the perfect time to upgrade so you and your team can stay secure from anywhere. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL to refresh your business tech with these Small Business Month specials. Dell recommends Windows 11 Pro for business.
What if you could be debt-free in just 3 weeks? Hey, it's Prosser here, and my friends at Loan Pronto are helping people do that every day. It's Loan Pronto's Debt Consolidation Home Refi, wiping out tens of thousands in credit cards. Listen, your home value's way up. You can refinance now, take money out to pay off all your credit cards, eliminate PMI charges, pay off personal loans or other high-interest debt. One local company had over $50,000 in credit card debt. Loan Pronto did a debt consolidation refi, and even though their mortgage rate went up a tad, they cut their monthly payments by $900. Why pay 20% interest when you can consolidate into our one low payment with a mortgage APR still in the threes? Homeowners who do it save an average of $800 a month. Do it now, you can skip your next house payment altogether. That's what I call financial freedom. Call Loan Pronto now, 904-499-1508. That's 904-499-1508. LoanPronto.com at 999-1508. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval. Protect your home's full HVAC system and prevent costly repairs. A tune-up with Fenwick is just $79, plus refill up to 1 pound of needed refrigerant free. Visit FenwickHomeservices.com/EZBook.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. You've heard us talk about it. Window World, the #1 window replacement company in the USA, selling over 1 million windows each year for the past 8 years.
That's a lot of satisfied customers, and why J.D. Powers has awarded Window World Best in Customer Satisfaction 3 out of 4 years.
Window World stands behind their slogan, simply the best for less. With Window World, you get top quality windows at a price that leaves more of your money in your bank account, and you get the absolute best guarantee there is in the window replacement industry. When compared to our competition, there is none. See for yourself. Call the competition. Get quotes from them. But before you buy, get Window World's free estimate and compare the quality of the windows and the price.
You'll see.
And when your new Window World windows are installed and they're saving you money on your energy bills, if anything goes wrong with those windows, Window World and I will be there to make it right. That's my guarantee.
Call Window World today. Start saving money on your new windows and your energy bills, and take vacation with your savings. Window World, online at windowworldneflorida.com.
Window World, simply the best for less. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors and siding.
We want people to feel that when they call Harrell & Harrell, they're calling Harrell & Harrell. They're not calling a satellite office or a call center or getting an automated phone system. We are with our clients, fighting for our clients, handling the process ourselves, and not asking others to do that for us. I mean, we feel like we made the right decision to be the size that we are, large enough to take on anyone, but small enough to care and really know our clients. Offices, Jacksonville.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Monahan Jewelers is your local family jeweler for 44 years with a huge selection of GIA-certified diamonds, gold, fine gemstone and diamond jewelry, and designer brands from all over the world. With our interest-free financing, we make it easy to acquire the perfect gift. Monahan Jewelers also specializes in custom jewelry design with thousands of customers all across Jacksonville. Come experience our beautiful selection of fine jewelry at your local family jeweler, Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Hey, David here with Rural Pest Services. When we have a product rep tell us they have a new product they're offering and how great it is, we don't just take their word for it. We do our own testing before we put it into our treatment program. Well, we found one. It's a Granular Aeration. Gone are the days of broken sprinkler heads and busted irrigation lines. No more ruts in the yard or hundreds of unsightly plugs from the heavy aeration machine. The only thing we'll be breaking up is your soil. It's also excellent for new sod installs. Visit RoyalPestServices.com for more information and to schedule a free estimate.
When getting the job done right is job one, you need construction equipment that's built right. From compact track loaders to the world's #1 selling compact excavator, the Kubota construction lineup features durable Kubota engines, more comfort, and the versatility to do it all and do it right. Visit your local Kubota dealer today. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Visit Coastal Equipment in Jacksonville and McClenny to reach your North Florida Kubota Superstore.
Hey, it's Leon Searcy. Me and XL Primetime crew will be live at D1 Training, Jacksonville's premier athletic training facility. Join XL Primetime at D1 Training at Beach and 295 from noon to 3 this Friday.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
Glad you're with us on a Friday night. Hacker After Dark, 1010XL, 92.5 FM. I promise the voice is going to hold up, Denmark. I'm battling here, man.
Mailing it in, are you?
Yeah, well, I'm not even going to get into that. I was on a hold with an airline for 90 minutes this afternoon. That's 90 minutes.
Standard for today's day and age.
Yeah. I'll get more into that, but I was not happy about that situation. All right, so we were talking about the head coach quarterback combos, year number 1 in the National Football League. I love the passion of Jaguar fans. I mean it. If you guys have listened to me long enough, you've heard me say repeatedly, the 45, 50,000 of you guys that were at that stadium every week through 2-14 and 1-15 and 3-13, you won't find a more passionate fan base. Sometimes that passion is used in interesting ways, like on social media, but nevertheless, it is passion. And there is a lot of passion for the Jaguars. But some of you don't live in reality. And reality right now is that Trevor Lawrence did not have a great rookie year. That doesn't mean he's not going to have a great year 2, and doesn't mean he's not going to have a great career. The last segment we were ranking, or I was ranking, first-year head coaches in the NFL. There are 9 of them, and their tag team partner is their starting quarterback. And I had the Jaguars above many of them. I had the Jaguars above the Giants. I had them above Chicago, above Houston. I even had them tied with New Orleans. Jameis Winston and Trevor Lawrence, there's no real difference there. I would, Jameis Winston's not great. Trevor Lawrence isn't great. Peterson's better than Dennis Allen. I might even take Jacksonville. The teams that I had above Jacksonville were Denver, with Nathaniel Hackett and Russell Wilson. Obviously Tampa, with Todd Bowles and Tom Brady. And I had Las Vegas above them because of Josh McDaniels and Derek Carr. So then I go to the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures at 641-1010. And again, when you guys text, much like we did on XL Primetime, we'll also bring that to the evening hour here on Hacker After Dark. Put your name on it so I can have a little dialogue with you, a little back and forth, if you will. Mano-y-mano on the text line. But for the here and now, the 994 texts in, Hack's going to eat them words, Carr better than T-Law, what a joke. Trevor Lawrence threw 12 touchdowns and 17 picks last year. Went 3-14 as a starter. Derek Carr in the last 3 years has thrown 71 touchdowns, 31 picks, and over 13,000 yards. Derek Carr last year threw the ball for 4,800 yards, completing 69% of his passes. There is no way that you can honestly sit there and tell me that Trevor Lawrence was better than Derek Carr last year. Because if you believe that, you're either a Jaguar homer, which is fine. which is fine as long as you admit it, or you just simply don't watch the National Football League. Again, is that an indictment of Trevor Lawrence? Of course not. We all know Trevor didn't have a lot of talent to work with. We all know the Urban Meyer fiasco that was surrounding him. It's not an indictment. And if we're having this same conversation a year from now, reflecting back on the 2022 season, at that point, maybe it's different. Although, Derek Carr is getting Devontae Adams, but that's beside the point. Maybe a year from now, Trevor Lawrence will be a better quarterback than Derek Carr. But on May 20th, 2022, if we're basing what happened last year, and for you to sit there and tell me I'm crazy to say Derek Carr is better than Trevor Lawrence, no. Derek Carr is absolutely better than Trevor Lawrence right now. Could change. Right now, no. In fact, go to the entire AFC. We did this a couple weeks ago. I'm very happy the Jaguars have Trevor Lawrence. I think he's going to be awesome. I think you're looking at a multi-time Pro Bowler. I think you're looking at a guy that might potentially get the Jaguars to the promised land one day. This is not a negative comment about Trevor Lawrence. This is not an indictment of Trevor Lawrence. This is simply reality, guys. And what reality is look in the AFC right now. Look at Josh Allen in Buffalo. Look what Mac Jones did in year number 1 in New England. Even Tua and the weapons he has now with Tyreek Hill. You then go to Deshaun Watson in Cleveland. Lamar Jackson in Baltimore. Joe Burrow in Cincinnati. And then you go out west. Are you kidding me? Justin Herbert, Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes. Derek Carr is the worst quarterback in his own division. And he's probably a top 12 quarterback in the league. That goes to show you how unbelievable the AFC West is. I mean, if you're simply ranking quarterbacks 1 to 16 in the AFC, to me, it really doesn't even matter what criteria you're using. If you're using future projections, certainly using what happened last year, however you want to do it, Trevor's probably not in the top 10 right now of the 16 AFC quarterbacks. I love the fact that he has Doug Peterson. I think that helps him. I love the fact that they invested in free agency. Again, a lot of Jaguar fans don't like what they did with Christian Kirk and Evan Ingram and Zay Jones. But if you've listened to me, you know that's 170 catches from last year. That's almost 2,000 receiving yards from last year that those three guys combined for in the NFL that are all now here in Jacksonville. And you get Travis Etienne back. Saw him on the field, I believe, right, at the workouts. They had a video online. Was out there doing some drills. Love to see that. If he's already doing drills in May, you would think he'll be good to go by the time training camp rolls around in a couple of months. Back into Doug Peterson for a moment. Jaguar fans, Gator fans, I asked you this earlier. I know there's a lot of you out there. The Jagators. Last time we talked about that, I had a couple people send me a text with those shirts that were made there in the late 90s. Again, I'll have to find mine and bring it in. I know it's in my attic somewhere. Probably doesn't fit. Haven't worn it since I was about 12. But nevertheless, I did have one. The world's fiercest animal. Well, if you're a Jaguar fan and a Gator fan, you have two brand new head coaches. I believe we figured out that's the first time that's ever happened. It's the first time the head coach at Florida and the head coach in Jacksonville are starting year one together, with Billy Napier in 2022 at Florida and Doug Peterson in 2022 in Jacksonville. My question to you, something to ponder, something to think about. And again, if you're not a Jaguar and a Gator fan, This really doesn't apply because, I mean, if you're a Seminole fan, you don't care about Billy Napier. If you're a Dog fan, you don't care about Billy Napier. So this is really just for the Jaguars and the Gators. By the way, if you're a Georgia fan, Kirby Smart, you're good. Miami fan, Mario Cristobal, you're good. Florida State fan, we'll get back to you on Mike Norvell. But who are you more excited about? You more excited about Napier at Florida? With the staff he's put together? The recruits that he put together right when he got there? He's also putting together a couple of nice commitments in the last few weeks. We're going to have my friend David Waters, Gators Breakdown Podcast on news4jax.com. He's coming up about 9:15 tonight to talk about what Billy Napier is doing on the recruiting trail. You got the indoor football-only standalone facility that's going up down there in Gainesville. Billy Napier's pressing all the right buttons. There is a ton of excitement about Anthony Richardson, about what Billy Napier is bringing to Florida. Is he already the best head coach at Florida, at least from a recruiting standpoint? Well, he is the best head coach from a recruiting standpoint they've had since Will Muschamp. But Muschamp couldn't get it done on Saturdays. Muschamp was a great recruiter. He just couldn't win enough games. You need a guy that can both recruit and win. You need Urban Meyer, is what you need, without maybe some of the baggage that Urban Meyer left. And then here in Jacksonville with Doug Peterson. It's not every offseason you bring in a Super Bowl winning head coach. A guy with a ring on his finger, a guy that's hoisted the Lombardi Trophy. I got to tell you, if you're both a fan of Florida and the Jaguars, I think you're in pretty good shape in both departments. Seems like you got two pretty good head coaches that you've brought in. And it'll be interesting over the next year, 2 years, hopefully 5 years. Hopefully both guys are in place for quite some time. It'll be interesting to see how they go along the same path, along the same time frame. Who accomplishes more quicker? Does Billy Napier get the Gators into the college football playoff before Doug Peterson gets the Jaguars into the NFL playoffs? Does Doug Peterson win an AFC South championship before Billy Napier wins an SEC East championship? Those things will be fun to watch. You just hope that both Florida and Jacksonville have finally hired the right guy. You know, here in Jacksonville, you really haven't had the right guy in place in quite some time. From Tom Coughlin to Jack Del Rio to Mike Mularkey to Gus Bradley to Doug Marrone to Urban Meyer. And now here you are with Doug Peterson. And in Florida's case, you went from Spurrier to Ron Zook to Urban. But then since Urban, it's been Muschamp, McElwain, Mullen. And that may be not fair for Mullen. Mullen did get him to New Year's 6 bowl games. Mullen got Florida relevant again, into the top 10 in the country. But it just bombed out horribly at the end. He wasn't recruiting good enough. Kirby was beating him up and down the recruiting trail and on the field, and something had to be done. And you hope that Billy Napier is that something that had to be done. That brings me back to you, Florida State fans. I had the opportunity earlier to catch up with Dr. Myron Roll. I got to tell you something. It's the first time I've ever had a chance to talk to Myron Roll. For those of you that don't remember, he was a 5-star recruit in 2006. He's still among the top 100 recruits ever on 247sports.com. Went to Florida State, I believe played in 38 ball games over 3 years, was drafted into the National Football League by the Tennessee Titans. But Myron Roll had a deeper calling, man. He became a Rhodes Scholar He went to study over at Oxford in London. He's now a neurosurgeon, and he has the Myron Rolle Foundation. You want to talk about an unbelievably impressive guy. That's former Florida State safety Dr. Myron Rolle. He has a new book out, The 2% Way. He's actually having a meet and greet and a book signing in Jacksonville tomorrow at the Crowne Plaza Hotel. We'll talk to Myron Rolle about his book. I want to ask Myron Rolle about Mickey Andrews and Bobby Bowden. But Seminole fans, I also want to ask him about Mike Norvell and what Myron Rolle thinks about Mike Norvell. Former Seminole, Dr. Myron Rolle, next on Hacker After Dark.
More videos, more podcasts, more Jaguars, preps, and college football. More of everything you love about Jacksonville sports at 1010XL.com. Now, a PGA Championship update on 1010XL, brought to you by Griffin Service. They fix what others can't.
Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the 104th PGA Championship, sponsored by Fidelity Wealth Management. Get to know the name. Mito Pereira from Chile is a stroke off the lead heading into the weekend after a 6-under 64.
I felt confident today, felt really good. I mean, we were lucky to have the draw that there was almost no win at the end. So obviously I played really well. It's still a tough course, but just waiting to be tomorrow and just be prepared.
The sinewy Will Zalatoris is the leader at 9-under after today's bogey-free 5-under 65. Justin Thomas 6-under, 3-back. Bubba Watson 5-under. He equaled the best round at a PGA Championship, a 63, first 63 since Brooks Koepka fired one in the first round in 2019. 18-hole leader Rory McIlroy scuffled today, 1 over 71. He is 4-under. Tiger Woods made the cut at 3 over. From Southern Hills Country Club, I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
Golf takes focus. You can't be distracted, which is why you should consider working with a Fidelity advisor to create a comprehensive wealth plan designed to help you grow and protect your wealth. Because once you've done that, you'll experience what Fidelity calls the planning effect, the peace of mind that lets you completely focus on what matters to you, which for many of us is our short game. Schedule an appointment to learn more or visit fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC.
Jose, how much longer till this dough's ready?
No one can bake gluten-free vegan goodies better than Surrey.
Wait, both Jim and Marion's last days are the same day?
But he needs to whip up a new shift lead without interviews burning his time.
Gotta get interviewing before my calendar is cooked. Oh, can you stop?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from the Indeed dashboard, so you can stay organized and connected all the way to the hire. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
If you have a family member who is active duty, now is the time to call Zero Res. Hicken here. Right now, get a 20% military discount. That's 20% off carpet cleaning, tile and grout, upholstery, and oriental rugs. Zero Res, man. Spell it forward or backwards. Zero Res. It's the right way to clean.
If you're in an auto accident, whether it's your fault or not, McGowan Medical Centers can treat your injuries. All you have to do is call us to make an appointment, and you can be seen that same day. McGowan's got your back, literally.
At Rusty Acres, you don't just get a used Ford, Lincoln, and Mercury auto part. You get someone who can explain how to install it. For a large inventory of used Ford, Lincoln, and Mercury auto parts, called Rusty Acres, 786-1777.
When you hear Honda, you think safety, quality, value. Now think fuel economy. Don't settle for anything but the best. We invite you to compare Honda to all other brands. Remember, only a Honda is a Honda. Visit your local Honda dealer. We're dealing.
My wife always says the same thing. She's always just like, where did that come from? You just go from 0 to 100 in 2 seconds. First of all, I idle at 75 miles an hour, all right? So don't give me this 0 to 100. I walked into this restaurant 75. I could hear that guy talking too loud on his cell phone from the parking lot.
From his Netflix specials and F is for Family, Bill Burr, Slight Return. Friday, November 18th, 5-Star Veterans Memorial Arena. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Bill Burr.
The 9 after 5 keeps rolling at Southampton. Joe C. inviting you to jump on the tee every Wednesday at the Golf Club of Southampton. Just call 287-PLAY and sign up. We'll give you a little time after work to get there. Always a fun 9-hole game. Chef Gary preparing something nice for afterwards. prizes, and more than anything else, playing golf with buds and having some suds after. It's the 9 after 5 every Wednesday at the Golf Club of Southampton. Call 287-PLAY and get on the tee with Joe C.
Like working outdoors and want better pay and benefits? Superior Fence and Rail is seeking full-time fence installers with pay ranging from $16 to $25 an hour and more with commercial experience. Superior Fence and Rail will train you to work with their professional team and provide you with all the tools you need to be a top-notch installer. Get off the fence. Call Superior Fence and Rail today and start your career.
When you're on the fence about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach.
Are you ready to play this summer? Come check out the Y. The First Coast YMCA is not only your home for health and wellness, it's also a place for the kids to explore, to learn new things, and to expand the limits of their imaginations. At the Y Summer Camp, every day is a new adventure. Kids can learn about STEM, arts and humanities, athletic sports, and outdoor games. Space is limited, and registration is now open. Visit fcymca.org and search for summer camps. See you at the Y.
How much did a $2 Exacta-Bet win at the Kentucky Derby?
With hurricane season fast approaching, the only weather you need to be concerned about is whether your homeowner's insurance policy will cover you in the event of storm damage. Ask your agent about Southern Oak Insurance today.
Our family protecting yours, Southern Oak Insurance.
With Rich Strike and Epicenter finishing first and second in the Derby, a winning $2 ticket paid $4,100.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. This past year has taught us to value the important things: our health, our friends and family, cooking for ourselves, and logo polo shirts. Check them out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Beaches Jewelry and Pawn is ready to help. If you need extra cash or a quick loan, Beaches Jewelry and Pawn has cash in hand. They also love to buy items of value. They need gold, silver coins, and flatware, jewelry, guitars, and of course, guns.
When getting the job done right is job one, you need construction equipment that's built right. From compact track loaders to the world's #1 selling compact excavator, the Kubota construction lineup features durable Kubota engines, more comfort, and the versatility to do it all and do it right. Visit your local Kubota dealer today. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Visit Coastal Equipment in Jacksonville and McClenny to reach your North Florida Kubota Superstore.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On May 20th, 1984, Boston's Roger Clemens beats the Twins 5-4 for his first victory, pitching 7 innings, striking out 7, and walking just 1.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. This is Hacker After Dark on 1010XL. Now, another interview on the Farah and Farah phone line, brought to you by the accident attorneys at Farah and Farah.
Back here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. It is a Friday night in the city of Jacksonville, and we are glad you are with us. Tomorrow at the Crown Plaza Hotel here in Jacksonville, there is going to be a book launching of a very, very popular former Florida State Seminole, a man that has done so much in his very, very young life already. That is Myron Rolle. In fact, if you look up the top 100 recruits in the history of 247.com, Myron Rolle's name is among those top 100. He joins us here on 1010XL. Dr. Myron Rolle, how are you, sir?
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm doing well. How are you?
Doctor, we are doing good. And boy, I think back to, when you were recruited to Florida State, you were a top 5 player nationally, the #1 safety in your recruiting class. You go to Florida State, you play 38 games, you have a good career, you're drafted into the National Football League, and all of that almost now, with everything else you've accomplished, is so far in the memory banks, from being a neurosurgeon to going to Oxford, a Rhodes Scholar. I know we're going to talk about the book in a moment, but Dr. Rolle, let me just say it is a pleasure to have you on this evening.
I appreciate that. God's been good. It's been a great ride, a great journey. Credit to my Lord, credit to my family. We left the Bahamas when I was very young, And my parents had this vision of us coming to America and taking advantage of all the opportunities, the resources that were afforded to us as as new people starting over here. And if we developed our intellect and committed ourselves to education, that doors could open up for us. And thankfully, they have, and it's been a blessing for sure.
The book is called The 2% Way. Rhodes Scholar, you talk about what it took to become a neurosurgeon, to be drafted into the National Football League. Dr. Roll, what made you want to write a book? Certainly you've had a fascinating young life. You're still only in your mid-30s, for crying out loud. What led you to want to do this, to write a book and get it out there?
Well, I was inspired as a young person by a book that I read called Gifted Hands by Dr. Ben Carson, pediatric neurosurgeon from Johns Hopkins, former HUD secretary. He separated two twins from the occipital lobe, and both of those twins lived, and that was the first time that procedure had ever been done. But I saw a lot of similarities in Dr. Carson's life and his upbringing to mine. Black, parents focused on education. He came from a modest background. He had a bit of a temper growing up, and I saw a lot of that in me as well. And so I said the seed of neurosurgery would be planted, that one day when I was done playing football or being an athlete, that I would move into the next chapter of my life and go into this. And so his story, it was inspirational for me. And maybe my story can serve that role for someone who sees a young man who has achieved success in academics and athletics, now is moving into the life of trying to cure and save lives in the operating room, but does it through a systematic process, does it through a regimented sort of mindset of taking 2% gross, 2% of increases every single day, winning each day, stacking those wins on top of each other, continuously moving forward to a better version of myself in whatever it is I want to do, whether it be being a better neurosurgeon, a better husband, a better father, a better mentor, whatever it is. This process is something I learned from my coach at Florida State, Mickey Andrews, that has applied and worked in my life, and I'm hoping that readers will find usefulness in their life as well.
The book is called The 2% Way, How a Philosophy of Small Improvements Took Me to Oxford, the NFL, and Neurosurgery, as we're joined here by Dr. Myron Roll. He has a book launch here in Jacksonville tomorrow on Saturday the 21st at the Crowne Plaza Hotel. Dr. Roll, I mean, look, the athlete that you were in high school, I just mentioned, you still go to 247.com. You are among the top 100 recruits ever on that website, dating back 2 decades. So the athlete you were, there's nothing wrong with that, but normally when you're a star on the gridiron, you don't go to Oxford. You don't become a Rhodes Scholar. You don't become a neurosurgeon. I mean, at what point in your playing career did you say, yeah, I'm having success on the football field, but maybe I need to do something else with my life?
They were all journeys that coexisted in my body. I never really separated one versus the other. It was always going to be football and academics and football. They were intertwined and they informed and influenced each other. The same competitive level that I had on the football field to fight for loose balls, to get off blocks, to attack, the blocker, the lead blocker, so with my inside shoulder, to keep my outside shoulder free so I can set the edge and make the tackle on the running back. The same intensity I had in that aspect of my life, I use that same intensity to get 100 on tests and quizzes, and to see the teachers during office hours, and to form study groups so that I can learn the material better, and to read other extra material to sort of support what I was learning in the classroom so that I can be a better student and eventually be a better leader that way. So all these things work together, and I was just, appreciative of having a family, having support system, having coaches like Bobby Bowden, like Mickey Andrews, and even when I got to the league, like Jeff Fisher and Mike Tomlin, that supported that journey, that knew who I was as a person, and knew that my value was, not just being an athlete, not just boxed into one category. It was being both and allowing that to move myself and other people forward in their lives.
Dr. Myron Roll here with us. Doctor, I got to ask you about Florida State in a moment, but you have mentioned both Mickey Andrews and Bobby Bowden. Let's go one at a time. We'll start with Mickey Andrews, the longtime great Florida State defensive coordinator. What did he mean to you and to your journey?
Coach Andrews meant everything to me and to my teammates, honestly. He honestly believed in us more than we believed in ourselves. And he would say some things that sometimes you were like, did Coach, like, that's not possible. He would tell us, hey, if you're getting knocked to the ground, I want you to be on your way up before you hit the ground. I said, well, how is that possible, Coach? Like, how can we do that? But, his belief in us and his thought process and his toughness and his love of Christ and his love of his wife and his family, it all bled through everything that he did. And this 2% weight process came from him. He challenged us every day to get 2% better on the football field. Our stamina, our ability to high point the football, our ability to tackle, whatever it was. He wanted us to have a realistic goal of tangible improvement every single day. Some people say, get 100% better. That's almost impractical, right? You can't double your talent in one day or 1 hour, but you can get a little bit better. And you can take those overwhelming tasks, those things that seem insurmountable, and you can break them down piece by piece every single day to accomplish your goal. So Coach Andrews did that for me. We all believe in him. We all love him. We all cherish him as a hero for us. And you can ask any player from any decade that played at Florida State. We all feel the same way.
His name is Myron Rolle. The book, The 2% Way, How a Philosophy of Small Improvements Took Me to Oxford, the NFL, and Neurosurgery. Myron, what about Bobby Bowden? You mentioned him as well. Unfortunately, we lost Coach Bowden a few months ago, but I would have to imagine that Bobby Bowden meant an awful lot to you in your journey as well.
Absolutely. Coach Bowden, when I got recruited from New Jersey, I was the number one rated player from ESPN's standpoint, and 83 scholarship offers anywhere I wanted to go, frankly. And coming down to Florida State, I walked into his office, and he had a big Bible open, and he said, son, tell me your favorite Bible verse. And I went to Hebrews 13:6. I said, the Lord is my helper. I will not fear what man shall do unto me. And then we spent the next 30 minutes talking about Christ. He basically took me to church in his office with my parents and my brothers right there with me, and did not talk about X's and O's, did not talk about playing time, did not talk about blitz packages, how many times I'm going to be sent off the edge against Clemson. He literally was like, look, this is what I want. I want my players to be with me in heaven as opposed to just walking across the stage in New York City as a draft pick. So that was huge. Coach Bowden believed in my journey. He moved all the obstacles out the way so that I could be a true student athlete, that I can volunteer, that I can do stem cell research, that I can, start my own foundation so that I can apply for the Rhodes Scholarship, win the scholarship in Birmingham, Alabama, and then where he went to college, and then fly to Maryland the same day of the scholarship winning, and join my team at the University of Maryland, where we beat University at, I think 37-3 was a score. So all these things, he committed to that when I first signed on at Florida State, my letter of intent, and he stayed true to it, and I owe a lot of my success to Coach Bowden for sure.
Final moments here with Dr. Myron Rolle. I'm fascinated when I read the book, and I've gotten some excerpts of it already in preparing to talk with you here tonight on 1010XL. Do you sometimes, you're obviously a very humble man, but do you sometimes sit back and think, my gosh, from where I was in high school, the athlete I was, to go to Florida State University, to be drafted into the National Football League, and oh, by the way, I'm going to become a Rhodes Scholar, go to Oxford, and a neurosurgeon, have the Myron Rolle Foundation. Myron, that's incredible stuff for a guy that's still only 35 years old.
It is a blessing for sure, but I give it to God and I give it to my family, the people around me who supported me. I know that there were sacrifices made for me and others like me to be where we are. The opportunity to go to school, the opportunity to, ride a certain form of public transportation, the opportunity to be at a hotel, have a certain job, and attain certain goals and tasks. Sacrifices have been made for me to be where I am today and others. And so my repayment to that sacrifice is to be the best version of myself in all aspects of my person. And if I can apply myself to a process, to a systematic sort of mindset in getting just a little bit better to help repay that debt of sacrifice, this life that I have, that we all have, this ability, it's, that's what I want to do. And now being a neurosurgeon, seeing and being inside the brain and knowing how fragile life can be and understanding that life can be taken from you in an instant, it really has given me perspective to remain humble, to remain grounded, to remain focused on being a better version of myself so that I can uplift other people along in the process. So it's been a blessing. And we're excited about writing this book because I tell a lot about those vulnerabilities and those moments and those inner thoughts that I've had and that other people, I'm sure, share, and we can all sort of grow from it together.
I definitely want to talk about the event tomorrow as well as where people can go and buy the book. But I got to ask you while we have you here, Myron, Mike Norvell coming into year 3 at Florida State. How much do you follow your alma mater, and what's your expectation coming into 2022?
Well, I definitely follow my alma mater. I'm all in. Whenever they come out to Boston and play BC, I'm at the games. Coach Norvell is amazing. He's a great leader, great man. I think he's got an outstanding vision for the players and the team. I think it's about learning how to win, and he's instilled that into the guys through the hard work, not looking at stars, not looking at NIL, not looking at social media, looking at the grind and the work. And that's how he was raised. That's how he learned in his coaching and his coaching pedigree, to sort of just grind and work it out and be the toughest worker out there. And now that he's injecting that mindset into a bunch of stellar athletes at FSU, I think the outcome and the product on the field is going to show that. So I'm excited about the future of our team.
We talked about it tomorrow, the 21st, Crowne Plaza Hotel, a book launch here in Jacksonville. Myron, what can people expect with the event tomorrow? And if people want to purchase the 2% Way, your book, what's the best way to go about doing that?
Well, I'll be there to sign. I'll be there to shake hands and talk about the book a bit, give a little excerpt on, what I'm thinking and why I wrote the book and some of the things that people can take away from it. You can get the book right now at any bookstore, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, anywhere you get books online or in person, you can do that. You can go to my website, www.2%way, TWO%way.com, and you can grab it from there. So we're excited. We're fired up to meet everyone and to say hi and to try to encourage people just the way that leaders in my life have encouraged me. I think this book is going to resonate and really have a profound impact on people. So we're excited about you getting it and hopefully showing up tomorrow.
It'll be a great event tomorrow, Crowne Plaza Hotel, Myron Roll. If you want to get the book, if you want to get a signed copy of the book, that is where to go. Crowne Plaza Hotel tomorrow here in Jacksonville. Myron, it's been a pleasure. I've followed your career and your post-football career for many years, and I really mean this, man. You have just extraordinary accomplishments, and I commend you so much. Thank you for taking time out tonight. We certainly appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate this opportunity. I really do.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
1010XL.
I suggest we use it.
Jacksonville Sports Empire.
It is your destiny.
Now, a PGA Championship update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Griffin Service. They fix what others can't.
Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the 104th PGA Championship, sponsored by Prevagen. Prevagen is the most recommended memory support brand by pharmacists. If you teed off in the afternoon Thursday and in the morning today, you just had no luck. But Justin Thomas endured the strong winds. He's 6 under and 2 off the lead after 36 holes.
It's a little frustrating waking up and seeing that it was going to be very windy in the morning and die down for these guys in the afternoon, but I just tried to embrace it and just say, there's going to have to be a best player from your wave. There's going to be a best round from your wave, and I really just tried to embrace it.
Will Zalatoris took advantage of the lighter winds in the afternoon. He leads at 9 under. Mito Pereira 8 under, 1 back. Bubba Watson posting a 63, matching the PGA Championship record. Bubba's 5 under, 4 back. Jordan Spieth 1 over. Brooks Koepka 2 over. Tiger Woods 3 over. All make the cut. Scotty Scheffler did not at +6. From Southern Hills Country Club, I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
Hi, I'm Steve, and I live in Austin, Texas. I work as a personal assistant to the owner of a large manufacturing firm. I've got anywhere from 10 to 50 projects going at any given time. I absolutely have to be sharp in order to succeed at this job. 5 years ago is when I started to notice I started making mistakes. My memory was not nearly as sharp as it had been. I was confiding in my friend about the problems I was having with my memory, and she said, Stephen, you've got to try Prevagen. After a period of time of taking Prevagen, my memory was getting better, and I started to feel a much better sense of well-being. If you're experiencing what I was experiencing, try it. I really believe that it's going to have tremendous effects for you, just like it did for me.
Prevagen, healthier brain, better life. Steve is a paid testimonialist and real Prevagen user. Based on a clinical study of subgroups of individuals who were cognitively normal or mildly impaired, this product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hacker here from my friends at Xfinity, introducing an all-new way to save with Xfinity. It's the 3-for-1 bundle. Get unlimited internet streaming and Xfinity Mobile, all for what you could pay wireless companies for just one 5G unlimited line. Now that's an unbelievable value. And now with Xfinity Internet, you can get unlimited data, Wi-Fi equipment, and a free Flex 4K streaming box included. With a 2-year rate guarantee and no-term contract, all for just $30 per month when you add Xfinity Mobile plan at regular rates. This is an absolutely terrific offer. It is for a limited time. Restrictions apply. It requires paperless billing and auto pay. New fast internet, 300 megabit per second, customers only. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity Internet after 24 months. Regular rates apply to all services and devices. Go to Xfinity.com/3for1, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit an Xfinity store today.
With the first pick in the 2022 draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Duck Duck Rooter, the best plumbing and septic company in Florida.
Congratulations, Duck Duck Rooter. So tell us, how does it feel to be picked number one?
Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing and Septic Services is excited to announce we're a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When you need help tackling any type of plumbing or septic issue, call our team of first-round draft picks for the win. DuckDuckRooter.com. That's DuckDuckRooter.com.
Honestly, this is one of the best jobs I've had.
Drivers and mechanics, listen up. Waste Management is now offering a $5,000 new hire bonus to CDL drivers and heavy truck mechanics for job opportunities at our sites in Jacksonville, Green Cove Springs, Callahan, and St. Augustine.
There's so much more to Waste Management than what you think it is.
Waste Management offers steady work, competitive pay, weekly paychecks, opportunities for overtime, paid training, and a generous food and tool allowance.
Plus industry-leading benefits, like 100% tuition coverage for you and your family, and your home every day.
The benefits were great. They're the best I've seen in a long time.
CDL drivers and heavy truck mechanics apply online today at WM.com/careers. That's WM.com/careers. Search driver and mechanic jobs in Jacksonville, Green Cove Springs, Callahan, and St. Augustine, Florida.
A people-first, military-friendly, equal opportunity employer.
We are WM.
Dell Technologies wants to celebrate all your hard work with these Small Business Month specials. Get great value offers on powerful laptops, desktops, and servers with Windows 11 Pro starting at $499, plus top monitors and docks, all with easy financing options through Dell Financial Services. It's the perfect time to upgrade so you and your team can stay secure from anywhere. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL to refresh your business tech with these Small Business Month specials. Dell recommends Windows 11 Pro for business.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach.
This is your Mad Dad's Update with Chapter President Donald Ford. We have talked about the number of homicides we have had. The one thing we have not talked about is the number of shootings. We have had 166 shootings this year. When a person is shot with one of these guns today, their life is practically ruined. The bullets are so big that whenever it hits, it tears that part of the body up. We as a community have got to come together and assist JSO to remove these individuals from our street. JSO cannot do it by themselves. They need our help. They were not there when it happened. Break the code of silence and tell what we know. Hit me on Facebook and tell me what you think. For information about Mad Dad, go to Mad Dad's Jacksonville Chapter Facebook or MadDadJacksonville.com.
Are you looking to be a part of a company where you feel respected and your efforts will be recognized? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. We're hiring professional painters and trainees who are friendly and have an eagerness to learn and grow. If you don't take yourself too seriously, but do take your profession seriously, you're likely to be a good fit here. Great pay, paid time off, medical, dental, and a company-matched 401k are just a few of the benefits waiting for you at Performance Painting. Go to performance-painting.com. Performance Painting, quality coatings applied with pride.
Equal opportunity employer.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here. Let me tell you, I hear from people all the time who are having tax problems. Don't be afraid to go to the mailbox. If avoided, your tax issue will only get worse. If you owe the IRS, but you can't pay, call my friends at Accelerated Tax Solutions. Whatever your issue, you want someone who's not afraid of the IRS. Call today to speak or meet with a professional with a clear tax solution for you. Accelerate your tax solution with Accelerated Tax Solutions.
Let's fire up the flavor and ignite those appetites.
let's slow down and smell the barbecue. Because all your favorites are smoked for hours and ready for eating when you are. From our famous ribs to slow smoked pork. Enjoy some perfection by the plateful, safely in our dining room or in the comfort of your home. With curbside pickup, drive-through, and delivery. Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmasters since '68.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Monahan Jewelers is your local family jeweler for 44 years with a huge selection of GIA-certified diamonds, gold, fine gemstone and diamond jewelry, and designer brands from all over the world. With our interest-free financing, we make it easy to acquire the perfect gift. Monahan Jewelers also specializes in custom jewelry design with thousands of customers all across Jacksonville. Come experience our beautiful selection of fine jewelry at your local family jeweler, Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach. This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
Halftime on Hacker After Dark, 1 hour down, 1 hour to go. We take you all the way up to 10 o'clock this evening. Coming up in less than 10 minutes, David Waters, Gators Breakdown, the podcast you get on newsforjacks.com. He does a great job covering Florida recruiting. David's going to join me to talk about what Billy Napier has done over the last 7 to 10 days or so, getting some nice pieces for his 2023 recruiting class. Coming up later on in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:35, 9-time state championship head coach of Trinity Christian, my friend Verlin Dormany, will join us on the program. You know, the evolution of myself in sports radio is quite something. As a result of working on sports radio, I met my wife. As a result of working on sports radio, I now have a son. But it was a while ago, admittedly. Go back, rewind the clock, 15 years or so. If you remember me in my younger days as the mayor of Jacksonville Beach, I'd be the runner and the ripper. I'd get off the air at 10 o'clock on a Friday night like I will here in 55 minutes, and I'd be on 3rd Street down in the Beach Boulevard area, heading towards 1st Street in Jacksonville Beach at 10:30 and just getting after it.
Sober, right?
2 a.m., man. I was running and ripping out there. There is no question about that. Of course, I always had the car parked. It was always cabs because Uber wasn't even a thing back then, Denmark. That's how old I am. But as I've gotten older on the radio, and I'm now the oldest 38-year-old on the planet, Denmark and I, during the break, were discussing our plans for the evening after we get off the air. Now, I have to be at the airport in the morning at 4:30 to catch a 6 a.m. flight to Atlanta, which I'm unbelievably excited about. But even if I wasn't going to the airport, my plan would be the same. I'm going to go home, just have a delicious glass of chocolate milk, and I'm going to watch the end of the Golden State-Dallas game. That's what I do on Friday nights now. Denmark, your Friday night plans seem vastly different than mine here in about an hour.
Yeah, me and Marsh, we're going out to the Riverside bars and this place. We'll just say Club X. They have this. You get headphones. It's like $5, and there's 3 different stations you can pick. It's red, blue, green, and you basically have headphones in the whole night. And you just keep to amongst yourself.
So wait a minute. Hold on. You're going to a bar. You're going to put headphones on. So you're not going to talk to anybody.
No.
You're going to have headphones on in a bar, just listening to music by yourself and not interacting with people.
Yeah, very minimal interactions.
The youth of America today. When I went to a bar 15 years ago, I had 2 things on my mind, and one of them was not listening to headphones. 2 things on my mind. You can probably assume what one of them was. The other one was getting copious amounts of beverages. But I guess times change. I will give you a full update, Denmark. Perhaps we can exchange text messages at 3:30 a.m. when I have to wake up to go to the airport. I'll tell you how good my glass of chocolate milk was, and you can tell me about your headphone excursion in the Riverside area.
Will do.
By the way, tell the chief over there I say hello. Speaking of the Chief, he recorded Gator Bites with us earlier today. Denny Thompson and myself did do a new podcast, a Gator Bites podcast. You can check that out on 1010XL.com and on the Florida Gator 1010XL Facebook page. We talked about expectations for Anthony Richardson. We discussed the retirement of Mick Hubert. We also talked about Jimbo Fisher versus Nick Saban. And Denny had some really strong thoughts about all that. You can check out Gator Bites at 1010XL.com. Speaking of the Gators, my friend David Waters, Gators Breakdown. What a week it's been for Billy Napier. What's next in the recruiting cycle for 2023 for the Florida Gators? We'll talk Gators, we'll talk Billy Napier, we'll talk recruiting with David Waters of Gators Breakdown next on Hacker After Dark.
Feel the thrill of victory this Sunday at Texas Motor Speedway.
He'll make that move if he needs to.
Brought to you by Famous Automotive Tire and Quick Lube, treating every customer like their JXL AM Jacksonville's NASCAR station, 1010XL.
Hey Jacksonville, I'm sure by now
It'll be a
you've
great
seen
event
bright
tomorrow.
green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Leon Searcy here for QC Kinetics. Don't go through another summer with that awful joint pain. Call QC Kinetics now. That pain in your back, your knees, your shoulder, it can all now be treated with the latest in precision medicine using natural biologicals. Growth factors that can restore and repair damaged tissues. Really exciting stuff here. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, giving you access right here to the modern-day joint pain solution. You can get lasting joint pain relief with no drugs, no steroids, no downtime, and no surgery. You've heard Emmitt Smith raving about QC Kinetics. You've read or seen other high-profile players talking about it. Regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics can help you get your life back. Take action now. Get a free consultation. Powerful, effective joint pain treatment with natural biologicals are here. Call QC Kinetics now, 904-274-5522. That's 904-274-5522.
There's a world of difference between and that's why you can trust Famous Automotive and Tire when it comes to your vehicle's care. Because there's a difference between and. It all starts with the triangle of safety. Your tires, brakes, and the front end. Take care of those 3 points and your car will take good care of you. Start at Famous Automotive and Tires. 7 locations servicing every customer like they're famous.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball presented by FIS is home this weekend at 1-to-1 Financial Ballpark. Tonight is Red Shirt Friday with post-game fireworks on Mental Health Awareness Night presented by River Point Behavioral Health. Tomorrow, the first 2,000 fans get a free hat and more fireworks presented by 1-to-1 Financial and Millennium Physician Group. Then on Sunday at 3:05, it's Baptist Health Sunday Family Fun Day.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey, David here with World Pest Services. When we have a product rep tell us they have a new product they're offering and how great it is, we don't just take their word for it. We do our own testing before we put it into our treatment program. Well, we found one. It's a Granular Aeration. Gone are the days of broken sprinkler heads and busted irrigation lines. No more ruts in the yard or hundreds of unsightly plugs from the heavy aeration machine. The only thing we'll be breaking up is your soil. It's also excellent for new sod installs. Visit RoyalPestServices.com for more information and to schedule a free estimate.
This is Brandon with North Florida Epoxy Floors. Our product gives you a custom high-quality appearance and the longest-lasting finish at a more affordable price. So for your garage, home, or business, research the difference between 100% solids epoxy and the products like polyurea, which can be kinda fishy. Our epoxy includes a moisture vapor barrier, essential in Florida, so your North Florida epoxy floor looks great and is warranted with no fine print. Get a free estimate at northfloridaepoxyfloors.com.
In 1921, U.S. Marine Corps surgeon Dr. Robert McKeever established the first urologic practice in Florida, the McKeever Clinic. I'm Dr. West. 100 years later, we continue to carry on his life's work in providing complete urologic care in Jacksonville. We have 13 board-certified urologists with many areas of expertise to provide the highest level of care for both men and women. Visit McKeeverClinic.com to learn more about how we can help. McKeever Clinic, innovators in urologic care since 1921.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On May 20th, 1984, Boston's Roger Clemens beats the Twins 5-4 for his first victory, pitching 7 innings, striking out 7, and walking just 1.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. Hacker After Dark on 1010XL. Now, hello. Another great guest on the Farah and Farah phone line. Brought to you by the accident attorneys at Farah and Farah.
Back here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM in the city of Jacksonville. We are glad you are with us. It's been a great week for the Florida Gators on the recruiting trail. Not 1, not 2, but 3 new verbal commitments for the class of 2023 as Billy Napier and his staff really starting to put things together here in the 2023 class. David Waters does a terrific Gator podcast, Gators Breakdown. You can get it on News4Jax here locally. And David, always kind enough to join us here on 1010XL in Jacksonville. David, how we doing?
Doing good, Hacker Matt. Thanks for having me right here on 1010XL. And you're keeping it local here in Jacksonville, of course, so glad to be on.
Hey, David, we certainly appreciate it, and I do mean that, man. I enjoy the podcast you've put together. You've worked hard, and you got quite a following there with Gators Breakdown. Good week for Billy Napier, certainly. Before we really get into the individual guys, just an overall thought from you about what Billy Napier is starting to put together with this 2023 class.
Yeah, 5 commits so far. 2 4-stars, 3 3-stars, and now you'll start looking at who are the bigger targets. I think that's probably the next step. You've got a nice base, especially in a nice foundation along the offensive line with these 2 recent commits. But now all these big names that you're hearing about visit Gainesville and have these rave reviews after these visits, now when they're going to start making their decision, that's when you need to start, seeing Billy Napier hit on these big name prospects, doing everything right that you hear as far as recruits visiting campus and all the rave reviews from the recruits and their parents and all these interviews that they're doing out there. You hear it. It's all positive. But Hacker, eventually, to kind of separate from Jim McElwain, to kind of separate from Dan Mullen, all these big names that are talking positive about Florida are eventually going to have to start, popping and saying, I'm committed to the University of Florida.
That's a good point, because every day on Twitter, it seems like this 4-star or that 5-star is putting out their final 5 or their final 8, and that Florida's involved in that. But that happened last year, too, and Billy Napier was only on the job a couple of months, but Florida missed out on a lot of those guys that they were on the table for at the ceremony. This year, you'd like to see the Gator hat get picked up a little more than it was last year, and I think you are starting to see that. You saw it last week with Najee Harris, a big 4-star commit out of IMG, which is huge. That's the second IMG Academy young man to commit to Billy Napier in the span of, 5 months. Florida could not get into IMG previous to Napier's arrival, but Najee Harris really might have started the ball rolling.
Yeah, big time. There were things when we looked at Billy Napier being hired, and if he was going to show he was a better recruiter than some of the previous staff, he was going to have to recruit the state of Florida better. And then more specifically, when you recruit the state of Florida better, even if these kids aren't originally from Florida, whether they come in from all around the country or not, you had to hit IMG Academy. As you said, Hacker, 2 commits already, the most recent being Najee Harris on the offensive line. And not only recruiting the state better, not only recruiting IMG better, but at a position of need for Florida too, where the offensive line recruiting has not been the best in the last few years under John Hevesy and Dan Mullen. So you pick up a 6'3", 335-pound offensive lineman who, but we know Billy Napier likes to run the ball, and he goes and gets a offensive lineman who's really known as a strong run blocker. May have to develop some as a pass blocker as well, but with Harris, somebody who can get to the second level, somebody who just is an aggressive mauler, and that's kind of the same thing with Lovett too. The new offensive line commit, they're kind of in the similar mold there as far as being run first, need to improve in pass protection, but you can tell what Billy Napier has been able to do in this short amount of time and getting noticed at IMG and actually bringing along commitments from IMG, a school that Florida has just historically struggled in getting some of the top athletes in the country who go to IMG. They're now, so far, with some targets coming up as well, Florida's firm in the mix in IMG right now.
David Waters of the Gators Breakdown Podcast here with us on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. David, what was your understanding or your thought as to why Florida could not get into IMG with McElwain or with Mullen? I know originally Chris Winkie was the head coach down there, and that was the thought, but that was a decade ago. And prospects have continuously come out of IMG and gone to Alabama, Clemson, Georgia, Florida State. Florida, for whatever reason, could not get anybody, but now Kamari Wilson, now Najee Harris. Why has Billy Napier been able to get in there and start a little bit of a pipeline so soon?
Yeah, I do think timing was some of it, and some of what you were going. Some of the staff at IMG, some of the people they had around that program, not very high on Florida, but Florida's approach wasn't necessarily the best there either. Especially with Jim McElwain, Dan Mullen, their reputation was they just didn't go all that hard for some of the top athletes. That maybe quote unquote too much work needs to be put in for some of those guys, and that's probably not a fair assumption all across the board. But I do think there's probably some truth to that as well. Where if there had to be a ton of recruiting going on towards some of the IMG prospects that were looking at Ohio State and Georgia and Clemson and Alabama, that those guys, okay, well, we'll do our due diligence, we'll put our name in the hat, but this didn't necessarily think that they could actually go and get those guys. I don't think Billy Napier thinks that way. I don't think he has that mindset. And I know for Kamari Wilson, it was, hey, Kamari said, hey, you need to go talk to my mom. You need to go talk to my mom. I think she works at Sam's Club or Walmart or something like that. And Billy Napier and his staff, they go to Sam's Club. She's on her dinner break, lunch break, or whatever, and they're sitting there talking about Kamari and what the University of Florida can do for him. So I do think it was an overall just different approach of having to go get the job done, knowing what it takes to go get some of those big names at IMG. As I said, hopefully that translates into some of the other big names in the state of Florida and all around the country as well. But as long as I think if we zoom in a little bit and we see what's happening at IMG, you feel a little bit better that making happen for some of the other top athletes out there as well.
We take it for granted that people know. For those that don't, IMG Academy down in Bradenton is a sports factory, basically. Not just football, but basketball, baseball, tennis, you name it. Terrific athletes from all over the country go to IMG to fine-tune their games, if you will. IMG is not even a part of the FHSAA because they're too good. They have to play teams from outside the state because they'd, quite frankly, wipe the floor with a lot of high schools in the state of Florida. So for the Gators to be able to finally get in there and get some of those big-time prospects is a really big deal for Billy Napier and his staff. David, you mentioned Bryce Lovett. I had Bryce Lovett on the show earlier this week. He told me something, and I heard the same exact thing from Jack Pyburn, the Bulls prospect who's now in Gainesville. Neither one of those guys said they were very highly recruited by Dan Mullen. Billy Napier comes in a very short amount of time and gets both of them. Why would Mullen not recruit the likes of Pyburn and Lovett, and then Napier is able to come in, see that flaw, if you will, and be able to grab both guys very quickly?
Well, for someone like Lovett, he was also big. I don't know if you mentioned this on your show or not, that he was a big fan of the two offensive line coaches process. Florida has two offensive line coaches in Rob Sale and Darnell Stapleton that are along right there at that offensive line, plus assistants that I think he said they have like 6 coaches that are just kind of fine-tuned and directed at offensive line coaching. So that really spoke a lot to him. And look, he's not one of the highly rated offensive line kids out there. He doesn't do a whole lot of camping, so that probably plays into it a bit too. But if you look at far as ratings go, I mean, his rating and his rankings where he places as far as around the 700 range of overall players, and those were kind of the players that John Hennessy and Dan Mullen would get. But as long as why the past staff wasn't able to kind of dial in on Lovett, who I know this staff is really high on. It's been that way from the get-go. Lovett's been a name along the offensive line that has been out there since this new staff come in. So they had definitely identified something there. So maybe some of it is play style. As I said, Billy Napier and his kind of run first. I won't necessarily say run heavy, But I will say run-first approach maybe speaks to Lovett because he's a mauler. He's aggressive. He plays right tackle at his high school now, and looks that he'll probably fit in that style at Florida, at least coming in. But he does offer some versatility. If he needs to play guard, if he needs to play center, that he can maybe transition into one of those spots if it doesn't work out at tackle there. But as far as Pyburn and Jacksonville, heck, I mean, you know as good as I do, Florida's got to recruit this area better. When we talk about recruiting the state, and too many times have 904 kids going elsewhere. And it's nice to see, you know, you have a name school like Bowles. You have name prospects from kids at Trinity Christian as well. And you want to see Florida get back into the Jacksonville area and going and getting a player like Pyburn who had connections to the University of Florida. And we saw, I won't necessarily say how easy it was, but to come in with Billy Napier to come in late and be able to connect the dots with those connections from Pyburn and his family in the University of Florida, you use that to your advantage. And if you need to go fill out your class, you need to get a player like Pyburn who can fit into at least philosophically and at least what you want to do at the ground level of building a foundation for your program, going a guy and getting a smart kid who plays at Bowles and the dedication that he takes to the game and waking up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and working out. I mean, those are kids that you build your foundation on in your first class. And one of the biggest complaints we had overall was getting Jacksonville and hitting Jacksonville harder. And this should have been easier for the last staff, but for whatever reason, the interest was not there.
Final moments here with David Waters of the Gators Breakdown Podcast. You get that at newsforjacks.com. David, Gator fans really seem to be very, very high on Billy Napier, and with good reason. He's put together a really good staff. He's put together a solid recruiting class. You see what he's doing now already with the class of 2023. But I'm just subtly giving the message to Gator fans, you might want to pump the brakes a little bit. It's a tough schedule in 2022. Napier's going to have to do a lot of work with guys that he did not recruit, that he's inheriting from Dan Mullen. I mean, what's your outlook right now? Certainly it can change as the months go by leading into the season. But do you think this is a 7-8 win Gator team? More than that? Less than that? What's your early thought?
Hecker, I always go when you're at Florida. For me, I think you always start at 8. That should be the floor. That should at least be what any coach can come in and get. Now, as you said, this schedule, it may not set up for that. So when you start off with Utah and Kentucky and Tennessee all within the first month of the season, and then you have LSU, bye week, Georgia, Texas A&M for a stretch as well. Not to mention, South Carolina right after that, a team that beat you last year, and it seems to be improving with Spencer Rattler at quarterback as well. So, Hacker, as you said, it's not an easy schedule to walk in on if you want to change the culture, if you want to change the tone of the program. What does that look like? I mean, we saw what Nick Saban had to go through in changing the culture and the tone of Alabama and struggling in year one, but it really paying dividends later on. But this is more, honestly, about the very tough schedule Florida has. You got a slew of home games, so maybe you could take advantage of that. So, Hacker, I still, even with the transition, I still think you start at that 8 win and you kind of build from there. So I am looking at that on the floor, starting with 8 wins, and then probably comes up to those first couple games. You beat Utah or you beat Kentucky, then you probably maybe get to that 8-9 range where you can start looking at some positive momentum going into even next season. But, Hacker, I start at 8, and those first couple games right there, I think can maybe set some things in motion where momentum may start rolling up, and Florida is one of those teams where you start looking at the second month of the season, really surprising people along the way.
Yeah, that Utah game is going to be enormous Labor Day weekend. Everybody that I know, Gator fan-wise, David, well, I don't want to play the Citadel anymore. I don't want to play, Southern Miss anymore. All right, well, here come the Pac-12 champions. So we'll see what happens on Labor Day weekend.
One thing about that, you probably don't like noon games too many times, but that might play in the Florida's favor. If you can get that noon game and those Utah boys, maybe melt by the time halftime rolls around for one of those noon, early September games.
That'd be a great point. Yeah, that would certainly benefit Florida. No question about that. David Waters does a great job. The Gators Breakdown Podcast. You get it newsforjacks.com, YouTube as well. Hey, David, really enjoyed the conversation, man. Let's do this again real soon.
Absolutely, man. Thanks, Hacker.
There you go, David Waters. He does do a good job with that podcast. And, yeah, I think he's right. I think if your expectation, if you're a Gator fan, set your mind around 8. 8 wins. And if they get to 9 or certainly 10, it's a good year. If they're under 8, at 6 or 7, it's probably a below average year. But with that schedule, the newness, the lack of quality depth on the roster, I think you got to be realistic if you're Florida. And again, those first 4 games, we'll talk about it leading up all the way to the year. Utah, Kentucky, Tennessee in the first month. 3 of those teams are ranked in ESPN.com's way too early top 25. So it could be a tough start to the Billy Napier tenure. Not his fault. He's inheriting this from Dan Mullen, so it will take some time. High school football, spring games all over the place. A lot of spring games were played last night. A lot more being played tonight. We're going to get you more and more high school coaches coming on leading into Friday Night Lights. It'll be year 16 for the Friday Night Lights postgame, and we kick it off in the middle of August. My friend Verlin Dormany, now a 9-time state champion. Of course, they won a state title last year at Trinity Christian. We're going to have Verlin Dormany on the program coming up in less than 10 minutes. I want to talk to Coach Dormany about those 9 state championships. He's entering year 32 on the sideline at Trinity Christian. Think about that. 32 years of the same school. We saw a ton of turnover on the high school football sidelines this offseason. At Mandarin, at Riverside, at Orange Park, at Westside, just to name a few, at Ribault. But yet 32 years for Verlin Dormany at Trinity Christian, including 9 state championships. He's coming up in just a little bit. Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals looks like it's going to be a good one. Dallas with a 4-point lead right now late in the first quarter. Luka Doncic has made a lot of shots. Steph Curry has made a lot of shots. Those two look like they are dialed in. Should be fun. Game 2, Dallas and Golden State. Of course, Golden State leads that series 1-0. We're going to bring you a PGA Championship update. Tiger Woods has made the cut. He's not really in contention, but he has made the cut. He will be playing on the weekend with a 3-over score through 36 holes of play. With Dylan Denmark, the hacker Ryan Green with you. Glad you're with us. It is a Friday night in the city of Jacksonville here on Hacker After Dark. Verlin Dormany, the head coach of Trinity Christian, is coming up next.
1010XL takes you inside the program director's office with Dan and Jeff.
I think you're not suited for this job.
Mornings.
In addition to being incompetent, you threaten my reputation, and not just today.
On 1010XL. Now, a PGA Championship update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Griffin Service. They fix what others can't.
Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the 104th PGA Championship, sponsored by NetSuite. Head to netsuite.com/golf for a special one-of-a-kind financing offer. That's netsuite.com/golf. 36 holes in, and Will Zalatoris sits atop the leaderboard. The 25-year-old from Dallas is 9 under par. And by the way, in each of the previous 7 majors played here at Southern Hills, the winner has had at least a share of the lead entering the weekend. Mito Pereira won back at 8 under. Justin Thomas 6 under, 3 off the pace. Bubba Watson had a putt to tie the major championship record score of 62. He settles for 63 and is 5 under, 4 back. Another gritty effort from Tiger Woods, a year removed from the car crash that almost took his right leg. Woods makes the cut at 3 over. Notables to miss the cut: world number 1 Scotty Scheffler, Dustin Johnson, also Patrick Cantlay. John Daly beat Cantlay by 4 strokes. From Southern Hills Country Club, I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sport.
School's out for summer, but if your business is running QuickBooks, you'll never get a break. QuickBooks manual processes, integration difficulties, and glitchy delays will leave you scrambling for the numbers you need. Failing to graduate to NetSuite will leave you stuck in summer school while your friends party. NetSuite by Oracle is the #1 cloud financial system, no matter how big your business grows. With visibility and control of your financials, inventory, HR, e-commerce, and more. NetSuite is everything you need to grow, all in one place. That's why NetSuite is the #1 cloud financial system used by over 29,000 growing businesses. Automate your process with NetSuite and close your books in no time. 93% of surveyed businesses increase their visibility and control since graduating from QuickBooks to NetSuite. Right now, NetSuite is offering a one-of-a-kind financing program, so graduating has never been easier. Head to netsuite.com/golf right now. netsuite.com/golf. netsuite.com/golf.
Attention all current lease owners. Before you turn in your vehicle, come get a free appraisal and equity evaluation at Key Buick GMC. Key can pay off your lease early. Do not wait. Now is the time to go to Key Buick GMC. They are currently buying all makes and models. The market conditions are increasing the value of your vehicle each and every day, so come see what your car is worth. Ask for Derek or Steve. That's Key Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Across the street from Tinseltown, Southside and Gate, or go to keybuickgmc.com.
Here's your 1010XL First Coast Community Calendar.
The virtual career fair for veterans is online this Tuesday. Register at recruitmilitary.com.
Your family can host boys and girls from countries around the world, like Germany, Spain, Italy, Poland, Brazil, and Slovakia, to share your heart and home. Call 800-941-3738.
Your child age 5 through 16 can play summer basketball, tackle football, or cheer in the free Police Athletic League programs. Register at jackspalsports.com.
You can play in the golf tournament benefiting the Derek Hatcher Foundation, combating the disease of addiction, August 13th at Eagle Landing Golf Club. Register at derekhatcherfoundation.org.
There's a critical need for all blood types. Please consider donating at a local blood donation center.
If you're involved in a community event and you'd like us to help spread the word, find out how at 1010XL.com.
Hayes Carline here. I love speaking with my friends at Griffin Cooling and Plumbing, and it turns out plumbing is crazy. You know, the longest root ever pulled from a drain was 201 feet. It's amazing some things Griffin has pulled from drains. Keys, false teeth, even a remote. Unbelievable. To honor the longest root pulled, Griffin is offering to clear any drain for $123, or it's free. When you have a plumbing issue, do what I do.
Visit griffinservice.com for details. Griffin, the home of the Florida-rated AC. When it comes to roofing solutions, most homeowners don't know they actually have a big variety of options. At Honest Abe Roofing, they offer a polymer-modified asphalt shingle that is guaranteed for life. This unique product can withstand 130-mile-an-hour winds, baseball-sized hail, plus it's algae-proof and fireproof. For the best roofing products, guaranteed for life, choose Honest Abe Roofing, the reliable roofer. Call 341-ROOF or visit honestaberoofing.com.
Life is about choices and the decisions you make. I'm David Robbins with Epstein & Robbins. If you're convicted of a DUI, you'll have to face severe consequences. Walking through the doors of the courthouse or appearing at a bond hearing can be extremely intimidating. Without the right lawyer, you're likely to make the wrong decision. Let our team help you make the right decisions in court. Epstein & Robbins, the right choice.
Epstein & Robbins, fighting for your rights since 1975.
When getting the job done right is job one, you need construction equipment that's built right. From compact track loaders to the world's #1 selling compact excavator, the Kubota construction lineup features durable Kubota engines, more comfort, and the versatility to do it all and do it right. Visit your local Kubota dealer today. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Visit Coastal Equipment in Jacksonville and McClenny to reach your North Florida Kubota Superstore.
This Saturday, Navy Mutual would like to salute all men and women that serve in our armed forces. In 1949, President Truman designated the third Saturday in May as Armed Forces Day due to the unification of all 5 branches of our military into the Department of Defense.
Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org.
My wife always says the same thing. She's always just like, where did that come from? You just go from 0 to 100 in 2 seconds. First of all, I idle at 75 miles an hour, all right? So don't give me this 0 to 100. I walked into this restaurant at 75. I could hear that guy talking too loud on his cell phone from the parking lot.
From his Netflix specials and F is for Family, Bill Burr, Slight Return. Friday, November 18th, Five-Star Veterans Memorial Arena. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Bill Burr.
The 9 after 5 keeps rolling at Southampton. Joe C. inviting you to jump on the tee every Wednesday at the Golf Club of Southampton. Just call 287-PLAY and sign up. We'll give you a little time after work to get there. Always a fun 9-hole game. Chef Gary preparing something nice for afterwards. Prizes and more than anything else. Playing golf with buds and having some suds after. It's the 9 after 5 every Wednesday at the Golf Club of Southampton. Call 287-PLAY and get on the tee with Joe C.
Former Jacksonville Pro Bowler Leon Searcy is serving up lunch on XL Primetime.
When we hit July, I'm going to go buy a set of pads. I'm going to put you in them.
Brought to you by Wingstop.
You're by me in them.
I'm going to put you in them.
Weekdays at noon on 1010XL. This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. Hacker After Dark on 1010XL. Now, another interview on the Farah and Farah phone line. Brought to you by the Accident Attorneys at Farah and Farah.
Back here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM in the city of Jacksonville, we are certainly glad you are with us. High school spring ball wrapping up as we start to turn our sights to the 2022 high school football season. You can't talk high school football in this city without talking first to Verlin Dormany, a 9-time state champion, the head coach at Trinity Christian, always kind enough to join us here on 1010XL. Coach, how we doing?
I'm good, Hack. How are you?
Hey, Coach, we are good. Thank you for the time. 9-time state champion. How many times have you reflected on that since your last state title win here 5 months ago in the month of December?
Well, I think we reflected on it from December, whatever it was, the 10th or something like that. We played it until about January the 5th or 6th, and we got back in here and got ready to go for next year. You know, that's about as long as we had to reflect.
Verlin Dormany, the head coach at Trinity Christian, here with us on 1010XL and on 92.5 FM. I'll tell you, Coach, I guess the reason you have to turn the page so quickly is because with all that winning, there is a target on your back, and you know you got to get ready for the next year games.
Every week, Hack, every week, you know, we're somebody's big game, and you know, we have to prepare for that because people play really good football when we play against them, and it's you can't take a day or a week off and expect to be, you know, good every year because you that target is on your back, and you know that's drive we have to do to try to get back to that playoffs and in that championship again. You know, it comes with that everyday grind.
You know, Coach, I want to focus on your team in a moment, but there was a big change in the FHSAA this offseason. It's now all about Metro and Suburban, right? I mean, there's not a lot of guys walking around with 9 championship rings on their fingers. So I'm curious, a guy like you, as accomplished as you are, what did you make of the now Metro division, the Suburban division? What's your thought on all that?
Well, it really didn't affect us that much because, you know, we still wind up playing the same people in the playoffs usually. But I don't know. It's disturbing because now you don't have a true state champion. And I think schools like the smaller schools in 2A that got moved up and combined with 3A schools, like, you know, when you start talking about Christ Church and, you know, the other school of Providence and schools like that, that took their state championship, you know, chances because they're playing smaller schools, but we're up in 3A playing larger schools. And I think it hurts, you know, I think it hurts Duval County Public Schools because now, you know, they have to play in a situation where they're going to travel in playoffs to Orlando, Tampa, Miami, you know, but you know, we'll never play another game in the Panhandle as far as playoffs because all that is Suburban. And my question is, do you really have a state champion? You know, is the Suburban team the state champion or is the Metro team the state champion? Are you just a champion? You know, I don't know. it kind of befuddles me. So.
Verlin Dormany, the head coach at Trinity Christian, here with us. Coach, and get as much into this as you want, or not as you want. I don't want to back you into a corner, but why do you think there is constant change with the FHSAA in the last 4 or 5 years? They can't seem to really pinpoint one procedure for the postseason. They keep messing with decimal points, and now it's suburban and metro. And why do you think this constant change is happening?
I think a lot of it is, there's so many people in their ear trying to get their way to, for their side, that they have to listen and constantly try to make change in order to appease people, and it's hard. I don't know. I don't have the right answer. I don't have the correct answer. I thought it was great when you had 6 classifications and, it divided up evenly in about 80 schools in each classification, and man, go fight it out. Mm-hmm. Who wins? If you get beat in the first round, so what? If you don't make them, okay, well, that's okay. Man, when I first started coaching, either you were the district champion and you went to the playoffs, or you weren't. There was no 2 people getting in and all this, that, and the other. But I guess a lot of it has to do with money, too, and revenue. Because, you got to make money to stay afloat. So.
Well, that's a good point with the money and the revenue. And I guess another thing, and I've talked to, other coaches, guys around the high school football game, the fact that there's so much curiosity about it, the fact that so many people care about what the FHSAA is doing, I guess is a good thing. That means the game of high school football in the state of Florida is maybe as popular now, Coach, as it ever has been.
It is. We've had a ton of college coaches come through the office, this spring season, because they're finally able to get out again. And they just can't talk about how good high school football is in Florida and how many athletes there are, and, all over the place. Not just in the metro areas, but, in the suburban areas. There's good football players here. And that's why they spend, 30 to 40 days in Florida, all the staffs around the nation looking at talent, because that's important. And, as well as I do, it's right now, high school scholarships for football is tough because the portal's so big. The COVID years, kids are still in school and get extra years for COVID. And they got to do some real evaluating. And kids that we used to get or have opportunities to go play, FCS, lower D1s, they're getting looked over. They're NAIA, or they're not getting anything at all. And it's tough right now, but hey, it's great to be a part of Florida and these great athletes.
Couple of more for Verlin Dormany, the head coach of Trinity Christian, coming off a state championship last year. Coach, spring ball ends for you on Friday. You play is it still called the Spring Jamboree? Is it the spring game now? What's it referred to as, Coach?
Well, you can choose what you want to do. I think most guys choose to play a game rather than the Jamboree now. We're playing down at Fletcher Friday night at 7:00. So it'll be a lot of fun. We're not as we don't have as many numbers as we've had in the past. We've graduated 2 big senior classes the last 2 years. So senior class this year is not that big, probably only about 10 kids in it. So we're playing with a lot of young kids, and they're going to get their opportunity to step out there this spring and see what it's all about. Because Seatric's done a great job at Fletcher. Man, they turned it on and ended well, and they got a lot of them kids back, and quarterback, running back's really good. I know they got an offensive lineman that's a D1 prospect, so it'll be a lot of fun Friday night down there.
I'm saying this, not you, so, I know that you would never say this, so I'm going to say it. High school coaching-wise in this area, you're the longest tenured, I believe. You're certainly the most accomplished with 9 rings. And I look at this offseason, Coach, and I see a change at Mandarin. I see a change at Riverside. I see a change at Orange Park. There's Ribault. There's changes all over the place, either administrative changes, coaches that just wanted to step away, whatever the deal was. Yet you're coming into year 32 at the same place. That doesn't happen anymore in high school football. What do you think your key has been to not only the longevity of your career, the success of your career, but doing it all in one location?
You know, a lot of it has to do with the people that you work for and the people that work with you. You know, we've had great administration here that's really backed us in what we do athletically in all of our sports. You know, we've been fortunate to be in the playoffs in girls volleyball, girls softball, boys baseball, you know, football, year in and year out last few years. And that's been good for us. But that, you know, really kind of hinges on we've got good administration, and the administration's been here a long time. So they understand, you know, that high school sports is important and to back it and to support it. And then a lot of it for me is I enjoy coaching with the guys that I coach with. I mean, because most of them are guys that played for me. So, you know, it's not like I'm coming in and having to redo a staff every year and try to get this one in the right. I mean, these guys, they've been 12, 15, you know, 19, 20 years. And a lot of them grew up in the system. So they were here, they played here, they understand, you know, what it takes to get to where we need to get to. And they have a great relationship with the kids. You know, it's just been handed down to them that, you know, the kids are important. You know, we're trying to, sure, we want to win football games. You know, that's what we're here for, win football games. But we've got to influence them, too, in the right direction and teach them work ethic and toughness. And, you know, it's not being taught a lot anymore, you know. So we you know, as soon as the spring football season's over, we're going to get a week off. And June the 6th, we're going to go to work 7 a.m., you know, every morning all summer. So except for Fridays. So we take Fridays off. But, you know, it just teaches kids, you know, work ethic. Get up, go to work every day. And you know what? I tell them all the time, if you do that, when you leave high school, when you get out of college, guess what? You're going to make a lot of money because it's hard to get people to go to work anymore.
That's a terrific message. That is an absolutely terrific message. Verlin Dormany, final moments here with you. Coach, you've had some good ones over the years. I'm not breaking any news there. You got another good one in running back Trayon Webb. You know, look, a lot of people are waiting for his college decision, regardless of where he announces his college decision. I know he's got, Florida, Tennessee, South Carolina, among others. I mean, how good is Trayon, and what do you expect from him his senior year?
You know, he is. Not only is he a great athlete, but he's just a great kid. You know, he's worked and plowed through some injuries over the last couple of years, and just keeps working and getting better. But, you know, the kid's like a 3.8 GPA. You know, he works hard. He's a great leader. So it's fun. It's fun to watch him, you know, just practice. And, you know, we've seen some great ones, and he's one of the great running backs that come through here, you know. So it's going to be a lot of fun this year, him. And then we've got another little running back in Darnell Rogers. He's going to be really good. Quarterback's amazing. So, you know, it's going to be fun to watch him grow up over the next 3 years, too. And he's got a lot of offers already. So, you know, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, there's not a lot of 15-year-olds walking around with a state championship. Colin Hurley, your quarterback, has a state championship entering his sophomore year of high school. That is absolutely incredible. Verlin Dormany of Trinity Christian. Hey, Coach, thank you very much. You know we'll catch up with you many times under the Friday night lights, and best of luck this Friday night at your spring game against Fletcher.
Hack, thanks, Ben. Hey, congratulations on your show, too.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate you, my man.
All right, buddy. See you, man.
Bye-bye.
The home of the home team you grew up with.
Could not stop Jimmy Smith now. For 4 or 5 years in this league.
Looking for Jimmy in the end zone.
Please play him one-on-one.
Jaguars pride forever. 1010XL. Now, a PGA Championship update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Griffin Service. They fix what others can't.
Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the 104th PGA Championship, sponsored by Prevagen. Prevagen is the most recommended memory support brand by pharmacists. Will Zalatoris missed the cut last week at his hometown event, the Byron Nelson. This week, he's the solo leader heading into the weekend at the year's second major. 9 under par, so what's working?
I thought I've actually driven it pretty good the last few days. I've been, 1 to 2 yards in the rough a bunch. And so, hopefully get those good bounces, really get back in the fairway. I don't have to battle as much as I did today, but it's a major championship and you're going to have to battle anyway. So long 36 holes ahead, but looking forward to it.
Zalatoris has been nails with the putter, usually a weakness of his. Mito Pereira 8 under, 1 back in his PGA Championship debut. Justin Thomas 6 under, 3 back. Bubba Watson shoots 7 under 63 to tie this major scoring record. He's 5 under. Tiger Woods 3 over. He'll play the weekend. From Southern Hills Country Club, I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
Golf takes focus. You can't be distracted, which is why you should consider working with a Fidelity advisor to create a comprehensive wealth plan designed to help you grow and protect your wealth. Because once you've done that, you'll experience what Fidelity calls the planning effect, the peace of mind that lets you completely focus on what matters to you, which for many of us is our short game. Schedule an appointment to learn more or visit fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC.
My PTSD when I came home was pretty bad. You come into civilian life and you just don't fit in anymore. But something extraordinary happened in my life. PGA home. Playing with the veterans and being together, that's our safety zone. The one thing that we're missing in civilian life, where do we fit in again? And that would be PGA home.
So I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, Director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 5-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $30,000 a year, and right now graduate making over $80,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition and no student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted into the program, your only costs are the books and the course fees, around $700 a year.
Wow, that sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org, and you can apply there.
We've all seen great overtime games and thrilling finishes, but when it comes to having a big time, knowing when to say when is key. Budweiser reminds you to win the day and night by designating a driver. That's a victory every time.
Hi, I'm Frank Frangie, and I'm so excited to tell you about our first ever charity golf tournament to benefit walk-off charities. The Dailies Dash Walk-Off Charities Golf Classic is Monday, June 6th at Jacksonville Golf and Country Club. One more opportunity to help underserved youth in our community play the beautiful game of baseball. I can tell you the course is in great shape, great prizes, great auction items, and we're going to have a blast. So log on to walkoffcharities.com to learn more, and let's help more players than ever enjoy the beautiful game of baseball.
This is Garrett Scanley, and when I needed surgery on my foot, I selected Dr. Acevedo and Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. No matter what orthopedic injury you have, go where you're treated like a pro. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
This is Dr. George Acevedo of Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Thanks to all of the athletes who ask us to help them get back on their feet. Come see us today.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Hey, Matt Hayes here, and I took my car to Expert Automotive on Beach Boulevard. Check this out. They saved me more than 25% on my repair. Plus, they offer a free lifetime warranty on all repairs. Think about that. I never have to pay for that service again. Crazy good deal. Cleanest waiting room I've ever seen, unbelievable service techs, and their customer service is the best, period. They really don't sell greed, just what you need. Check out their amazing Google reviews and visit expertautojax.com. Expert Automotive on Beach and Peach. Go see them.
Hicken here for Zero Res. Man, I love living here in Jacksonville where we have so many families who serve or have served in the military, and I'm so thankful for their sacrifice to keep us safe. If you have a family member who is active duty or a veteran, now is the time to call Zero Res. Right now, get a 20% military discount on everything they clean. That's 20% off carpet cleaning, towel and grout, upholstery, and oriental rugs. Zero Res, man. Spell it forwards or backwards. Zero Res. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
It's a unique gift idea, and it's perfect to add some fun to your work environment. Mystic Cornhole Company builds customized high-quality boards right here in Jax. Visit their shop on Phillips Highway or check out some of their design at mysticcornholecompany.com.
Leon Searcy here. Want your kid to be trained the right way through a science-backed strength and conditioning program that makes you faster, stronger, and more agile? Join me Saturday from 10 to 2 at D1 Training Beach Boulevard for their strength station, turf, and free demo session. Ages 7 to 18 and professional adults can benefit from the D1 way. That's the D1 Training Open House, Beach and 295 Saturday. For more information, go to D1Jacks on Instagram or D1Training.com.
Captain Kevin Favor here, and do you store your boat and boat trailer separately? If so, I want to tell you about Stack'em Storage. They store your boat trailer in a secure warehouse out of the elements, and here's the cool thing. Stack'em Storage will pick up your trailer from you, store